All right, so have you ever felt like you just need to, hit the reset button on life?
Oh, yeah.
Like a full-on unfucking everything?
Absolutely.
Well, you're in the right place. Because today we are diving deep into a viral Reddit post that tackles exactly that.
It's really amazing how this simple post from just like an everyday person, just like you resonated with so many people.
Yeah.
There's a real hunger for practical advice on self-improvement.
Yeah, and what struck me is the post's, no-nonsense, get-it-done attitude.
Right.
It doesn't waste time on motivational fluff.
Yeah.
It just lays out a plan.
Yeah.
It's like, grab a pen and paper, let's get to work.
I think that directness is likely part of its appeal.
Yeah.
It cuts through the noise and focuses on actionable steps.
Uh-huh.
Plus, it smartly breaks down this daunting idea of fixing your life into smaller, more manageable areas like fitness reading and studying.
Exactly. It acknowledges that wanting to change everything at once can be paralyzing.
Yeah.
So instead, it encourages us to pick one thing and focus on building a habit, step by tiny step.
And it emphasizes the process of planning rather than getting hung up on rigid plans.
Oh, yeah.
There's this great quote from the post: "Plans aren't important, but planning is."
I love that.
It highlights the power of being intentional and consistent.
Okay. I'm totally guilty of this. I love making elaborate plans, and then life happens, and I fall off track.
Right.
This post really resonated with me because it's all about making those habits so easy, they're almost impossible to skip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, place a book where you'll be after dinner,
Yes.
when you're in that food coma slump, and commit to just one page.
It's brilliant because it plays on a natural tendency, that post-meal lull, and turns it into an opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
This is where the concept of micro-habits comes in. Small, consistent actions over time create incredible momentum, helping us overcome that initial resistance to change.
Makes total sense. But what about those pesky excuses we all have?
Oh, yeah, we all have them.
This post doesn't let us get away with those either, especially when it comes to reading. No money for books, get them online or at the library.
Exactly.
Phone hurts your eyes, find apps that reduce strain.
What's fascinating here is that it reframes our relationship with obstacles.
Okay.
It's not about the excuse itself, but about identifying the psychological barrier it represents
Oh.
and finding a creative workaround.
For instance, maybe no money for books is less about the actual cost and more about a fear of investing in something you might not enjoy or finish.
Right.
So the library becomes a low-stakes way to experiment and discover what you like.
Precisely. And the phone hurts my eyes.
Hang on.
The excuse could mask a deeper resistance to focusing, perhaps a fear of boredom or discomfort.
Interesting.
By addressing the underlying fear, we can find solutions that truly work for us.
Yeah.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And then the post hits us with this dose of reality,
Yeah.
reminding us that time is our most precious resource. It's not about being morbid, but about recognizing that we only have so many years to make things happen.
Right. That sense of urgency can be a powerful motivator.
Yeah. But it's important to find the balance.
Yeah.
While acknowledging our finite time can spur us into action, we need to avoid slipping into anxiety or pressure.
Right.
It's about mindful use of time, not frantic action.
I think that's where the wisdom of the community comes in.
Yeah.
The comment section of this post is a goldmine of tips and support.
Oh, absolutely.
For example, several people chimed in about maximizing library resources, especially the Libby app.
That's a great example of how we can leverage existing resources to overcome those perceived barriers. The Libby app opens up a world of free ebooks and audiobooks,
Right.
addressing the no money for books excuse head-on.
It also speaks to the power of community.
For sure.
Sometimes we just need a nudge in the right direction or a reminder that we're not alone in our struggles.
Absolutely. And it reinforces this idea that unfucking your life isn't just about individual effort, but about tapping into available support systems and finding creative solutions.
The one thing that struck me as I was reading through the comments was the question of consistency.
Oh, yeah.
The post itself is great for getting started, but how do we maintain that momentum over time?
Right.
Life throws curveballs, motivation wanes, and old habits can creep back in.
That's a challenge that goes beyond the scope of this particular post.
Yeah.
It's the million-dollar question for any kind of self-improvement.
Right.
Building lasting change requires more than just initial enthusiasm.
Yeah.
It requires resilience, flexibility, and a willingness to adapt when things don't go according to plan.
So true. And maybe that's where the post's focus on action over feeling becomes even more important.
I see what you mean.
It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or feeling super motivated. It's about taking those small steps consistently, even when we don't feel like it.
Exactly. Consistency is key. And it often comes down to building systems and routines that support our goals.
Uh-huh.
For instance, if you want to read more, it's not enough to just rely on willpower.
Right.
You need to create an environment that makes reading easy and enjoyable, whether it's carving out dedicated reading time, curating a tempting TBR pile, or joining a book club for accountability.
And maybe that's where self-compassion comes in, too.
Oh, yeah.
The post doesn't really touch on this,
Yeah.
but I think it's crucial for navigating those inevitable setbacks.
Right.
We're not going to be perfect, and that's okay. It's about picking ourselves up, learning from our mistakes, and keeping moving forward.
I love that you bring up self-compassion.
Yeah.
It's often the missing piece in the self-improvement puzzle.
Yeah.
We can get so caught up in achieving goals that we forget to be kind to ourselves along the way.
Totally. And that ties into the idea of accepting that unfucking your life is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
Right.
It's about continuous growth and evolution.
Precisely. And it's about embracing the messy, imperfect reality of being human.
Uh-huh.
We're all works in progress, and that's what makes life so interesting.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this Reddit wisdom, I think it's worth reflecting on both the practical tips and the deeper questions it raises.
I agree. Sometimes the most valuable part of exploring an idea like this isn't just about finding answers, but about discovering new questions to ponder.
And that brings us to a crucial question for you, dear listener. The post focuses a lot on external actions, but what about the internal side of things?
That's a great point. Where do self-compassion and acceptance fit into your unfucking your life journey?
Yeah.
How can you cultivate a mindset that supports your goals while also being kind to yourself along the way?
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in just like the doing,
Oh, for sure.
but that inner work is just as important, right?
Absolutely. And it's a great reminder that personal growth is a holistic process. It's not just about checking things off a to-do list. It's about cultivating a mindset that supports lasting change.
This has been such a thought-provoking deep dive.
Yeah.
We started with a simple Reddit post.
Right.
And it's led us to some really profound questions about motivation and self-compassion and this ongoing journey of unfucking our lives.
Yeah, it's a testament to the power of shared experiences and collective wisdom. Even a seemingly straightforward piece of advice can spark meaningful conversations and inspire deeper self-reflection.
Exactly. And sometimes that's all we need.
Yeah.
A little nudge, a fresh perspective, and a reminder that we're not alone on this crazy journey called life.
Speaking of not being alone, if you're enjoying this deep dive into self-improvement, we invite you to join our community of like-minded souls.
Yes, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this episode of Voices of the Soul. And for even more inspiring content, head over to Shauna Pelage's YouTube channel.
We're all about exploring the inner world and empowering you to live a more fulfilling life.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep unfucking your life one step at a time.